So congratulations, big victory against Washington. We brought up and I was going to talk to you first about, so Acton, compared to the first game, a much more improvement in that second game. Mentally, after that first game, just what did you go over to come out and perform as you did in this one?
Not much changed as far as like physical on-field aspect. It was more so one of the captains pulled me aside, Ethan Harkins actually. He talked me through what I was thinking, things I should change, and just came into the game with a different mentality today, kind of a shoot-first mentality, and kudos to my teammates for passing the ball and making plays.
Coach, at halftime, you had roughly twice as many ground balls to Washington Lane, twice as many shots in that first half, registered 62 total. When you have an offense that can generate so much, how promising is it for you to see your attacking unit, also that mid unit and the defensive unit perform so well to give them those opportunities?
Yeah, I think you saw a different group tonight. Last night we displayed kind of what we're capable of on defense, and then tonight we displayed what we're capable of on offense. And the goal is to hopefully put it all together and keep improving throughout the course of the year here. Certainly helps a ton when you're picking up GBs like we did this weekend. We really had a great weekend of winning GBs and getting the ball up off the carpet. Our face-off play was tremendous. Phil Minardo had an incredible weekend, but tonight was very, very good, and very pleased with how he's playing as a freshman for sure. But offensively, when we're sharing the ball and guys are moving free, we're pretty dangerous. Erich, I told Erich on the way here, like, he was moving all over the field. He was sweeping and scoring. He's scoring from the post. When we're free flowing and moving, we're in a much better place. So, but it all starts with getting stops and getting possessions and giving our offense some opportunities.
In that third quarter, 8 total goals. You guys grabbed 8 of them. What impressed you the most about how your team played in that third quarter?
Oh, geez. I couldn't even answer that question. I think one thing is we settled in a little bit on defense, which helped us get possessions on the offensive end. I don't know what the stats were for face-offs that period, but I'm sure it was good. But we definitely settled in defensively in the second half versus the first half. Playing in this event, it's really tough to get ready for day two. You try to prep early in the week for day two and then try to forget everything you just did the past game and get ready for the next game. And defensively, that's really difficult. So, give the guys credit for settling in and figuring things out. But the offense was, I thought, clicking most of the day.
7-10 in that third period in face-offs and Acton. You're going to have a tough match against St. John Fishers coming up. Lots of things that go well in the game leading into that. So, preparation-wise, is it a confident place to be, or almost does it feel a bit tricky because now you have to come off this high and reset, regroup, and prepare in a different format?
I think we should be in a great place coming off this high. The way we're moving the ball today and sharing the ball. We got a lot of different guys with goals and assists today, so that's really huge. We used a lot of players, and I think that puts us in a good spot going into our next game.
Coach, with so many different people playing, how exciting is it to get some of these guys out who, in some of these tight matchups, might not see the field?
We came into this game 100% planning to play more guys than WNL tonight. We felt we were a little deeper, and we trust some of the guys that we put on the field. And, you saw some goals off, from a guy like you and Patrick, who, he gets some time, but he gets out there and does a great job and scores one for us. Great momentum swing for us. But we definitely, especially for this weekend, want to play numbers and play our bench and keep his guys as fresh as possible, especially on day two. And that was both ends of the field. We were playing, 5 or 6 close defensemen. We're running our 3 LSM, 6 D middies, right? So we're trying to keep guys as fresh as possible. It's a grind out there.
Acton, going into the rest of the season, what's going to be the biggest takeaway from playing in this competition to help you and the rest of the team prepare for the rest of your season?
I think it's the game we displayed today, the way we moved the ball, played as a team. I think that's really important for us. We've seen it in practice so many days, and then we've had some games where it didn't quite come together on the field, but today was a good example of how we can do when we have our mind in the right spot.